Well, just a horrible story that we've talked about since it happened here on WJR. A plane crash Saturday afternoon in Lyon Township killed the former president of Metro Detroit's Home Builders Group, his wife and son, David Compo, an experienced licensed pilot, losing also his wife Michelle and their son Dawson, who went to Catholic Central, a 2020 Catholic Central graduate. It's just a horrible story for anybody and everybody, certainly that knew them or was a part of the family or anything at all like that. And, of course, the Home Builders Association was a very big part of his family. 2 days after his term ended, his life ended in this plane crash. And we have happily on the line with us for unhappy conversation Michael Stoskopf, who is the current Home Builders Association CEO. And this is a tough conversation, I know, Michael, very specifically with the loss of David Compo, a person who was so important to you personally as well as to your organization, the Home Builders Association.
Yeah, good morning, Paul. Thanks for having me on. On behalf of Ben Templeton, our 2021 president, our board of directors, we are heartbroken.
There's no other way to put it, and there's still certainly a degree of shock when something like this happens, especially to somebody who was as close to you and as close to the association as David has been, known as an experienced licensed pilot, and being so close to safety, maybe a half mile north of the New Hudson Airport, which was apparently their destination, and they went down. We don't know. We can't even speculate as to what went wrong. We just know, unfortunately, and I've looked at the police report, the incident reports, everything else. We don't know until the investigators are there. What we do know is that David Compo, his wife Michelle, and their son Dawson lost their lives. And it's very tough for everybody to deal with, but that's where we find ourselves. And this is a guy who, as immediate past president of the Home Builders Association of Southeastern Michigan, became known by a lot of people, including us, and being, I think, up at Mackinac Island for the chamber conferences and all of that. He was a very well-known fellow and a good guy.
Yeah, he was, and New Hudson was their home airport, or whatever the official name of the airport is. But New Hudson there is where he flew out of. If he was going to Mackinac Island, he was flying to Mackinac Island. He was very charitable and giving. In addition to being a home builder, a custom home builder, and impacting positively the lives of over 600 families over the course of his career. He gave a lot. He was very active with the Knights of Columbus. Invariably, if there was a fundraiser to be had, a silent auction or something like that, if David was involved, there was a dinner in Traverse City. There was a dinner in Chicago. There was a day in Mackinac Island where if you bid on that and won, you were flying in his plane. He was taking you there, thousands of hours of pilot and charge time. So to hear the news when it broke, and I want to commend Detroit News. They did a great job on the initial article Saturday night that really tied it together. I had a tough call with
Candace Williams. It seems I think that's the story
yes.
I have in front of me, and that you might be referring to. And it was handled with very good taste, and gave the facts as they were known, and then talked an awful lot about his relationships, including his relationship with you, Michael. It was very close and very strong. And you went through, like everybody, a very challenging year. And it was a very challenging year for David as well.
Yeah, 2020 has its own connotation with everything, right? But I've been with the Home Builders Association since 2008, known David since that time, was here through the Great Recession. This was the toughest year that we had ever had as an association. David's encouragement, support, decision-making, what he was able to help me through personally, and then also our board of directors in guiding during that tough time. I know everybody really appreciates, and, it's a testament to where we are today. But like you said earlier, you're hoping to turn the page. Psychologically, we hear 2021, okay, we sort of know everything isn't all better right away, but you psychologically turn that page, and then for this to happen, it's a little tough.
It's very tough, and it's the loss of a family member for all of you. Let's face it, in the Home Builders Association of Michigan, it is very, very tough. Loss is always difficult. It's especially difficult when we are, as you put it so well, frankly, Michael, we were ending a horrific year, the worst ever for you guys and for most of us. And you're thinking, okay, 2021, now, deep breath, let's go. And then this knocks your breath out of you. But you will recover. And is there any other family left? Was there, besides wife Michelle, son Dawson from Catholic Central High School, were there any other family members, any siblings or anyone else?
That's probably the most thankful. If there's a positive silver lining out of this, is that it was just David, Michelle, and Dawson. So there's nobody immediate family living with that loss. They were all believers. They're all together in heaven. His brother Chris is co-owners with David in Compo Builders. So Compo Builders still has, somebody running it. David, Michelle, Chris Compo, and then his wife Lisa work together every day in the office right there on Grand River in Novi. So it's, I talked to Chris on Saturday night at 9:00, and I got the confirmation, of course, that David had passed. And, Chris was in shock, again, because David's experienced thousands of hours in charge, sitting in that left-hand seat. So, it would be interesting to see what the FAA comes back with. But, that is a blessing. Long answer to your question. But,
well, no, I appreciate that. And you're right. It is a blessing that there isn't another son or daughter sitting at home now dealing with this, but certainly very tough for brother Chris and his wife Lisa, and for all of your members of the Home Builders Association of Michigan, where David Compo's term ended just 2 days before his death. Thanks for sharing that, and we feel your pain, and we send our condolences, Michael, to all of you.
Thank you, Paul.
The Home Builders Association CEO, Michael Stoskopf, and I think he said Ben Templeton had been moved in as the new head, past now the president of the Home Builders Association.